Happy Sunday, my friends. Hope you all went to church. And today, being a Sunday, I've been thinking about a verse I learned, or a sermon that was preached in my early days after salvation. I kept it in my heart. You know, one of those words that you keep thinking about and shapes a lot of things, but I'd never really thought about it in connection to my life and going back, seeing how it has played a role in my life growing up. So today I've been thinking about it and I'll share it. So the verse was from Romans 13 verse 8. It says that, owe nothing to anyone except to love and seek the best for one another. So the sermon is on the debt of love and how you can repay any debt on earth, be it money, in terms of goods or services. Anything that has a value can be repaid. But the only debt that you cannot repay per se is the debt of love. Anything that someone did for you when you were not able, like you're not in a position to repay them. Anything that someone did for you from the goodness of their heart or just out of love, you can never put a measure to that. You can never put a value to that. It's forever a debt that how easy you just can't pay it back. You may give money, you may give goods and services, you may appreciate that act, but nothing that has been done out of love can repay it back in its equal measure. And so the word also urges us that that's the only debt we should have with one another, that we seek to love and seek the best for one another. And so where life started for me was, of course, at birth. So my mom had me after high school. So I can imagine how being a teen pregnancy, being a teen mom was for her. Like, I know today if I had a daughter and she has finished Form 4 and then she tells me that I'm pregnant, I would imagine the reaction I would have and the thoughts I would have and how conflicted I would be. But worse still, how the 19-year-old would be feeling. And so imagine if I would be devastated now. I imagine how she felt 30 years ago, being in that position. The sacrifices she had to make, people talking behind her back, seeing your friends go on with life. You know, after Form 4, that's when apparently life begins, because, you know, you are a young adult and you want to explore. And sometimes I sit and think about the challenges a young girl would go through with pregnancy. Like, pregnancy is difficult even when you're an adult and you're working and you have, you know, a partner to support you through. So imagine what it was like being alone, being single. And I imagine her going to clinics with older women. I imagine her walking in the village with a big tummy and the struggle that was for her. I imagine other parents telling their daughters that, you know, wachana na huyo kijana, sitaki ukue kama nani. And so the gossip and the words must have really been hurtful. I'm sure it wasn't an easy journey. It's not easy for anyone to go through pregnancy alone. It's not easy for a teen mom to go through pregnancy, and definitely it wasn't easy to do it 30 years ago. And so this is what has been a game changer for me, that despite the difficulties she faced, she chose to keep me. Like, she made a deliberate decision that, you know what, I'm not sure what's happening, I'm not sure how the future looks like, it's definitely not the script that everyone else is having or is supposed to have, but I'm going to keep this baby. And that's where my life begins. And that's a choice that I would not be able, like, I cannot conceive a gift that I can give to repay that kind of love that my story is, or I am today, because she made a decision that she will give me a chance, that she will keep that baby. And so over time, as I talk to my family and the sacrifice she made at that young age, there is one that really stands out for me when the extended family had to go on trips. I think the specific one I remember is the Mombasa one, that they had to go, and so there are photos of all of them except my mom, and the reason being she had a small baby. And so I know how it feels right now for me to miss a friend's wedding or a rurashio or an event that I've been looking for. And the reason behind it is because I have a small child. Like, yes, I definitely would choose my child, but there's still that, longing and need you feel when you want to take part in social events, to be there with your friends, and you try all you can to, see how to make it possible, but you still choose your baby. And her choosing me again and again when I was small is still something I cannot just fathom, the kind of love that she had a choice of probably giving me away, or all the choices that are there, but she chose me. And as if that was not enough, she kept choosing me over the family, over her friends, over her education, because it had to be delayed. She had to choose me over her being a youth, being a young girl. She chose to be a mother. So that's for me the debt of love. That's the biggest thing that, thinking of today, I would never repay her for that. Like, I'm grateful for God for everything else that have followed, but it started with her. It started with her choosing love, choosing to be selfless, choosing to sacrifice herself and give me a chance. And since that day, growing up, of course, she's an amazing mom. She has brought me up, I believe, in the best way possible. Growing up, I don't remember lacking anything, even when she was a single mom, before God brought us a bigger family. But I don't remember missing anything. Going to school, not uniform, not books. Actually, was a very, very happy kid. I didn't realize that there was a gap or that there was something missing. No, she just covered everything. She was mom, dad, friend, brother, sister, everything. She was just definitely everything for me. She also is the one that I would credit my discipline for. I know we say that watoto wa single parents are spoiled, but no, not with her. Kiboko haikuwekwa chini. Like, I remember that the beating was thorough, the beating was enough. The one I remember the most, I think I had eaten sugar, and so when she came back, I didn't clean up my mess well, and I was beaten until nikatoroka ile. I'm like, no, you can't be my mother, you can't beat me that much. And what changed is the love that she did it with. Transformed my life, because when I ran out of the house and I sat there outside, and after I finished crying, she came to talk to me and she told me that she loves me very much, and she's not beating me, she's beating the sin. Makosa siwe na chapa makosa, because I want you to be a good person. I want you to be the best version of yourself. And I think after that, I don't remember being beaten again. That totally transformed me. That just made me see the value that it was not me against her. She was for me, and she's doing that to give me the very best. Also, what else I remember when I was young is, and I credit to my mom, is she introduced me to God, where life now makes sense. She introduced me to God. Okay, the normal Sunday school and everything, but children learn most by what they see, not exactly what they hear, what they are told to do. So I remember her in our single days when we were just me and her. I remember her waking up in the middle of the night, I don't know what time, nile tu nageuka kwa kitanda and she's not there, and I would see her kneeling and praying, and that has never left my mind. That shaped what I thought is the role of a mother, what I thought is a woman, and the need to have a connection with God. And I remember, I think I was around 7 years. I was walking to school one day. Like I still remember that day very clearly in my head. The way it was around 8. I was walking to school in my car's small uniform, and I just made a prayer that, God, when I grow up, I want to be like my mom. I don't know you at this point, but the way my mom knows you, I want to know you in that way. I want to experience what it feels like to wake up in the middle of the night to pray. Like, I pray, God, that you keep me, help me grow up and be like her, be like my mom. So yes, those are some of the things that are priceless that my mom has taught me, that she has been present in my journey and shaped. And there's nothing that can be equated to that. Like, it's just, she did it because she loved me, that she chose to spend time with me. The lessons she taught me, the times I wondered how A or B would be provided, and in my small age she told me that God's grace would keep us, that God's grace would keep us, that, you know, she couldn't explain how we're going to pull through A or B, but she told me that God's grace will carry us. And all my life I know that God's grace has carried me and has carried us to this point. So maybe I let me say this, that if you're a single mom and you're raising your child and you're worried if you're doing the best thing, I just want to know that what you're doing is heavenly. Like, it's a gift from heaven. Like, don't give up on your child. Speak life to them. Tell them they are the best thing that could have ever happened to you. Tell them they are brilliant. Cheer them on, because you're the only one they have. Whether you're a mom or a single dad, you're the only one they have. You're the best thing that has ever happened to them. Being a child from a single parent is hard enough, from you, especially when you're young, from your peers, you know, when they go to Sunday school, when they go to school, when they go to family meetings and people are asking them, you know, leading questions, or it's basically hard for a child to be in a society that has already perception of what single families are. So I urge you that don't give up on your child. Just keep loving them, keep being there for them, keep showing up for them, you know, show up throughout. Like, don't make excuses, just show up. Choose them over and over. Choose them over your friends, choose them over your dating life, choose them over your fun, choose them over everything, because that's the only thing that you're the only one they have. You're shaping their life. Today they are small, but you know, 10 years, 20 years, they will be big. And what you're doing now, however small you think it is, you know, that those minutes you take to pray with them and do homework, that is what will shape their life. And yeah, they maybe as also from the other side of the coin, the kids who are being brought up by single mom, maybe your child is small, allow me to say on their behalf that we love you very much. We see your confusion, we see how you doubt yourself whether you're a good parent, and we appreciate it. We totally appreciate, and we pray to God that He will keep you, He will provide for you, and He will fulfill the desires of your heart. I know you have big dreams for your children and you wonder if you can do it alone, but God's grace is there. God's grace is there for you and for your children. You are everything your child ever needed. When God gave you that child, everything that child needs is in you. So don't give up, don't compare yourself. You're the best. Yes. Okay, bye.